23 skills that are in your Ohio Nursing Assistant Hand Candidate book. With some of these skills, there are sentences that are in bold called key steps. With these key steps, these are things that you have to absolutely say and or do, or it's an automatic fail. Also, you have 35 minutes to complete 3 to 4 skills. If you run out of time, this will also lead to a fail. First, I will discuss and demonstrate hand washing. Although hand washing is no longer an independent skill, it is incorporated in some of the other skills. When washing our hands, as we know by now, we need to wash our hands for 20 seconds. When washing our hands, we want to make sure that we wet all surfaces of our hands and our wrist. When applying soap, we want to lather our hands for 20 seconds. After rinsing the soap off of our hands, we will use paper towels to dry our hands. We'll dispose of those paper towels and grab a new paper towel to turn off the water. So, let's get started.
JKLMNOP QRS TUV WX YZ. That's the alphabet song. That's the alphabet song. You got the alphabet song. That's the alphabet song. And all you need is just 26 letters to make some words. When you mix them all together, come on.
Demonstrate how to properly put on your PPE. First, we'll put on our gown. You want to make sure that you tie the gown around you, around the back of your neck. Then you want to make sure that the gown covers the entire body, and then you will tie it around your waist. Then we'll put on our face shield. And lastly, we'll put on our gloves. When we're putting on our gloves, you want to make sure to tuck your sleeve inside the glove. Okay, now that your PPE is on, you're ready to enter your residence room. Now to remove your PPE, it's the opposite. So first, we're going to remove our gloves. All right, and when we remove our gloves, you're going to pinch the middle of your glove, ball that glove up in the gloved hand. Take your 2 fingers, go underneath the glove, pull it over so that that balled up glove is on the inside. Then we'll dispose of that. Then we'll remove our face shield. And then we'll remove our gown. Now, when we remove our gown, you want to make sure that you remove it from the inside. You don't want to touch the outside of the gown. Right? So we'll remove it from the inside. Then you'll roll it up into itself away from your body and dispose. And we're done. First, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry, covering all surfaces. And I'm going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be ambulating you to your wheelchair using a gait belt.
Okay.
First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. Gait belts, non-skid footwear. I'm going to lock my bed. Lock. And I'm going to lock my wheelchair. All right, Mr. Jones, and I'm going to put your bed down now, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to grab your call light, and I'm going to raise the head of your bed up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Now, on the count of 3, we're going to sit on the side of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to grab your blankets, pull those off of you. All right, then I'm going to put my hands behind your shoulder blade and behind your knees, and on the count of 3, we're going to sit on the side of the bed.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Making sure that his feet are flat on the ground. All right, going to put on your gait belt. Okay, put your arms up for me, please. Okay, going to check for gait belt tightness. And now I'm going to put on your non-skid footwear.
Okay.
All right, then on a count of 3, we're going to stand up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put my knee between your knees. Go ahead and put your hands on my shoulder. I'm going to grab the back of your gait belt, and on the count of 3, we're going to stand, okay?
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to grab your forearm and hold on to the back of the gait belt, and we're going to ambulate to your wheelchair. Go ahead and turn for me. Do you feel the wheelchair on the back of your legs?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat for me. Okay. Going to remove your gait belt. Go ahead and lean forward for me.
Mm-hmm.
Return my equipment. Unlock the wheelchair. All right, Mr. Jones, going to bring you over to your call light.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Jones, here is your call light.
Thank you.
Press that button if you need me for anything.
Okay.
Want to unprovide privacy. And sanitize my hands until dry. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to knock on Mr. Jones's room.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be ambulating you to your wheelchair using a walker.
Okay.
Okay? First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. I'm going to lock my wheelchair. I'm going to lock my bed. And I'm going to lower the bed. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to grab your call light from you.
Okay.
And I'm going to raise the head of your bed up a little, okay?
All right.
How's your day going so far?
Pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm going to remove your covers, okay? All right, and then on the count of 3, we're going to sit up on the side of the bed.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to put my hands behind your shoulders and behind your knees. All right? On the count of 3, we're going to sit up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right? And his feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to grab my gait belt. You can put your arms up for me, Mr. Jones. This gait belt around you. Make sure it's snug. Checking for gait belt tightness. And you're going to put on your non-skid footwear. All right. You're going to go grab your walker. You go ahead and grab onto your walker.
Okay.
I'm going to secure the walker or stabilize the walker with my foot and one hand on the walker. And I'm going to grab you in the back with the gait belt, and we're going to stand up on the count of 3, okay?
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right, Mr. Jones, we can walk over to your wheelchair. Turn for me. Still securing the gait belt and the walker lightly. All right, do you feel the wheelchair on the back of your legs?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and have a seat for me. All right. So remove your walker. Remove your gait belt. Arms up. Lean forward, please. Unlock your wheelchair, and I'm going to bring you over to your call light.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything, and I'll come in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll provide privacy. And sanitize my hands until dry. Covering all surfaces. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And knock on Mr. Jones' door.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be applying your anti-embolic stocking.
Okay.
First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. I'm going to grab your call light.
Okay.
And I'm going to put your side rows up. And I'm going to raise your bed. Alright, so the bed is raised to mid-thigh level. I'm going to expose one leg, okay?
Okay.
Exposing only one leg. Checking for any bruises, abrasions, or skin tears. Any skin breakdown. I will place the TED holes, checking for the rectangle on the back that goes over the heel. Making sure to gather all of my wrinkles in the beginning. Checking for placement of the rectangle. And pulling it up the leg. Making sure it is smooth and wrinkle free. Pulling at the top to release some of the pressure. How does that feel, Mr. Jones?
Feels good.
All right, I'm going to cover your leg back up.
Okay.
Okay. Going to lower your bed. Okay. I'm going to lower your side rails.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light.
Thank you.
Press that button if you need me for anything, and I'll come in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Want to unprovide privacy? And sanitize my hands until dry. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today. I hear you needed the bedpan, so I was going to assist you with that.
Okay.
Okay? First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. Okay, Mr. Jones, I'll be right back. I'm going to go let your washcloth.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. I'm going to put on my gloves. Okay, I'm going to grab your call light. I'm going to raise the side rail. Okay. And I'm going to raise your bed. Okay, Mr. Jones, I'm going to place you on the bedpan.
Okay.
On the count of 3, I'll need you to turn to your left side for me, and you can grab onto the side rail.
All right.
Okay? On the count of 3, you can turn. 1, 2, and 3. Keeping them covered. Place our bedpan. Come on back over. All right, are you on there comfortably?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to check to make sure he's on the bedpan comfortably, and he is. Okay, Mr. Jones, I am going to set the head of your bed up. Is that good? Let me know when it's good.
This is good.
Okay. I'm going to give you your call light
Thank you.
and your tissue. At this point, I'm going to verbalize that I will put the bed down and the side rails down. Okay, call me when you're ready.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, Mr. Jones, grab your tissue here. Put it in the trash. I'm going to clean your hands. Clean your hands and in between the fingers. Hands and in between the fingers. dispose of my linen. I'm going to dry your hands. Okay. Dispose of my towel. All right, I'm going to put the head of your bed down so we can take you off the bedpan.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to take your call light. And then I'm going to take the bedpan off you, okay? So on the count of 3, you can turn to your left side again.
Okay.
Okay, so holding on to the bedpan, go ahead and turn. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones. Let's turn a little bit. All right, I am going to put your bed down.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put your side rails down. Here is your call light. I'll be in the bathroom measuring your output.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to unprovide lighting, as you can see. And I'm going to head to the bathroom. And going to measure. And we're at 200 cc's. Going to rinse my bedpan, dispose of my urine, going to rinse my graduate, going to dry all of my supplies, rub this out. Turn off my faucet. I'm going to remove my gloves. All right, Mr. Jones, and here's your call light.
Thank
Press
you.
that button if you need me for anything.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands.
All right.
I will not recontaminate my hands. Dry my hands. Gonna put my hand behind my back. Turn off the faucet. Discard and document. I'm going to print at the top, sign at the bottom, and I'm going to put my output where it says urinary output. And it was 200 cc's or mLs. And you have to be within 25 cc's of what the observer measures as well. End of skill. I am going to sanitize my hands until dry. Hello, Ms. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be providing you with catheter care. First, I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. All right, Miss Jones, here's your call light. I will be back. I'm going to fill your basin up with warm water. Okay, I'll have the tester test the water. I'm going to go grab my gloves. I'm going to bring everything close to me. And when I fill the basin up, I want to fill the basin up to at least the number 2 that's inside the basin. All right, Miss Jones, I'm going to grab your call light from you. I'm going to put your side rails up. Okay. And I'm going to raise your bed. Okay. So I have raised the bed to mid-thigh level. Raise my table. Alright. Then first I'm going to place the incontinence pad underneath you, okay, Miss Jones? I'm going to put this side rail down. Okay, Miss Jones, on the count of 3, we're going to turn to your left side. Okay. I'm also going to check the Foley, the catheter, for any kinks and to make sure it is free flowing. Before I turn her, I'm going to place the bag on the bed so it doesn't pull when I turn her. All right, Miss Jones, on the count of 3, we're going to turn, okay? 1, 2, 3. Keeping her covered. I'm going to roll my incontinence pad underneath her and come back down on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Going to bring the bag back down. Put my side rail up over here. All right, checking for kinks again. I'm going to pull the incontinence pad through on the other side. All right, now Ms. Jones, we're going to turn to your other side, your right side, okay? On the count of 3, let's turn. 1, 2, and 3. Bringing the incontinence pad through. All right, now back on your back. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Checking for kinks and free flow. All right, now I'm going to place the bath blanket over you. Keep you covered. I'm going to fan fold your blankets down from underneath you to waist level. Okay. I'm going to wet my first washcloth. I'm going to apply my soap. And I'm going to make sure I have my 4 corners. I'm going to lather And I have my 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, now I'm going to expose you, Miss Jones, okay? I'm gonna pull her gown up. Okay. I'm gonna take my first corner. I'm gonna hold the tube up against her thigh. And I'm gonna go around the tube on one side. I'm gonna cover her. Pull back my corner, pull out a clean corner. Expose. I'm gonna hold up against the thigh. I'm gonna clean on the other side of the tube, around in a circular motion. Pull back my corner, pull out a clean corner. Then I'm gonna pinch close to the urethra, and I'm gonna clean 3 to 4 inches down. And I'll do that one more time. I'm gonna expose, I'm gonna pinch, and then clean the tube 3 to 4 inches down and cover. I'm gonna dispose of this one. I'm gonna get my washcloth to rinse. Again, I have my 4 corners. Okay. I'm going to expose, and now we're going to rinse. I'm gonna hold the tube up against the thigh, and I'm gonna rinse around one side of the tube in a circular motion and cover. I'm gonna take my next corner, expose. I'm gonna hold the tube up against her thigh, and I'm going to rinse on the other side of the tube in a circular motion. I'm gonna take my next corner, my third corner. I'm going to expose. I'm going to pinch at the urethra, and I'm gonna rinse 3 to 4 inches down the tube. Okay, I'm gonna cover, and I'm gonna do that one more time. Expose. We're gonna pinch at the urethra and clean 3 to 4 inches down the tube and cover. I'm gonna dispose of that one. Now I have my dry washcloth with my 4 corners, and now we're gonna dry the exact same way. Get my clean corner, gonna expose, gonna hold the tube up against the thigh, and we're gonna pat dry in a circular motion on one side and cover. I'm gonna take my next corner, expose, hold up against the thigh, gonna pat dry on the other side of the tube in a circular motion. I'm gonna expose, gonna get my next corner, pinch at the urethra, and we're gonna dry down the tube 3 to 4 inches, cover, and dry one more time. Expose, pinch, and dry. I'm gonna cover you up, Miss Jones. Get this out of my way, and we are all done. I am going to pull your blankets back up over you. I'm going to pull your gown down first. Okay, I'm going to pull your blankets back up. Make sure we keep you covered at all times. Okay, then I'm going to roll my linen away from me. And never flinging my linen. I'm going to dispose of that, my bath blanket. All right, and then Ms. Jones, we're going to remove your incontinence pad from underneath you, okay? So on the count of 3, I'll need you to turn on your side. I'm going to grab the bag, the drainage bag. Put that on the bed for a quick second. Then on the count of 3, we're going to turn on your left side, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Keeping it covered. I'm going to roll my incontinence pad in towards the resident. And on the count of 3, you can come back down on your back for me. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to bring that bag back down. Put the side rail up over here. I'm going to go to the other side to remove the incontinence pad. All right, Ms. Jones, you can turn to your right on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And roll that into itself. All right, Miss Jones, come on back down for me. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Righty. I'm going to dispose of my incontinence pad. Last time, I'm going to check for kinks and free flow. We're good there. All right, Miss Jones, we're all done. I'm going to put your bed down. Okay, I'm going to put your side rails down. Shake this bed up a little bit. All right, Miss Jones. Here is your call light. I'll be in the bathroom emptying your basin. Call if you need me. I'll be right back. Put this back. And my basin. Going to empty my basin. Going to rinse. Empty. Flush and dry. Remove my gloves. Dispose. All right, Miss Jones. We are all done. Here's your calling again. Press that button if you need me for anything, and I'll come in. I'm going to unplug the pipe. And I'm going to go wash my hands. Okay, I'm going to rinse. I will not recontaminate my hands. Behind my back. And done. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to knock on Mr. Jones's door. Hello, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be providing perineal care for you and putting on a clean brief. First, I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, I will be in the bathroom filling your basin up with warm water. I will be right back, okay? Here's your call light. Press that button if you need anything. And as I mentioned before, before, you want to fill this up at least to the tube and the wash basin. And I'm going to have the tester test the water. All right, Mr. Jones, I am back. I'm going to grab your call light. I'm going to raise your side rails. And I'm going to raise your bed. All right, Mr. Jones, the bed is raised to thigh level. All right, first I'm going to put this incontinence pad up underneath you. Let's get that ready. Okay, we want to make sure we keep our resident covered at all times. All right, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, we're going to turn to your left side, okay? Count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Keeping them covered. Going to place my incontinence pad. All right, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, back down. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. Side rail back up. Pull it through on the other side. Then you're going to turn to your right for me on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Keep them covered. Pull the incontinence pad through and back down. 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'm going to put your side roll back up over here. Then I'm going to cover you with the bath blanket. Again, remembering not to fling our linen. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to fan fold the blanket from underneath you. Okay, and I'm going to pull up your gown. All right. Now I'm going to expose you a little bit to remove your brief. Okay. So, I'm going to unfasten your brief. I'm going to tuck the sides in. Okay. And I'm going to remove it and tuck it inward. I'm going to cover you. And we're going to turn to your left side again, okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, remove the brief. Come on back down. 1, 2, and 3. Going to dispose of it. All right. Now we're going to start cleaning. Put your side roll up real quick. I'm going to grab my linen basket, my soil linen basket also. All right. I'm going to take my first washcloth, wet it, put soap on it away from the basin. Have my 4 corners. I'm going to lather. Again, we have my 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, going to expose you, Mr. Jones. Okay, first, we're going to clean around the tip of the penis with my first corner. So, in a circular motion around the tip of the penis. Cover. second corner, exposed. I'm going to wash the top of the penis from the tip to the shaft, down the shaft. Cover. And I'm going to clean underneath the penis. Then with my last corner, exposed, I'm going to clean the top of the scrotum. Okay, dispose of that. Now I'm going to rinse the same way I washed. I'm going to expose. I'm going to rinse around the tip of the penis. Okay. Then I'm going to clean the shaft, the top of the shaft of the penis. Expose, bottom, cover, and then rinsing the scrotum and cover. I'm going to dispose of that. Now I'm going to pat dry. Same way we washed and rinsed. First corner, exposed. We're going to pat dry around the tip of the penis. Cover. Okay. Then I'm going to pat dry shaft of the penis on the top. Expose, pat dry bottom. Then we're going to pat dry the scrotum and cover. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, now we're going to clean your backside. So on the count of 3, you can turn for me on your left side, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Keep him covered. I'm going to wet my first washcloth. We're going to wash first, so we're going to add our soap to our 4 corners. We're going to lather. All right, I'm going to expose the rectal area. All right, and then we are going to clean from the scrotum to the rectum, so front to back. Okay, so scrotum to the rectum, cover, and we're going to do that twice. Scrotum to the rectum. Then we're going to clean one glute or one cheek. Then with our last corner, we're going to clean the other glute or other cheek. Okay. Going to cover, dispose. Now we're going to rinse the same exact way. Four corners, we're going to expose. We're going to rinse from scrotum to the rectum or front to back. We're going to do that twice because we washed twice. Scrotum to rectum, keeping them covered. All right, then we're going to rinse one glute or cheek, then the other cheek or glute. Okay, we're going to dispose of that, and now we're going to dry. So with my 4 corners, I'm going to rotate. Okay, so I'm going to expose. And we're going to pat dry from front to back. I'm going to rotate. Pat dry again. Rotate. Pat dry the cheeks or the glutes. And my last corner, pat dry the glute or the cheeks again. And dispose. Now we're going to take our clean brief. This on. Lining it up. All right, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, you can come back. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to pull this side rail up. Get this out of my way. We're going to go on the other side. Okay, now we're we're going to turn to your right so we can pull the grapefruit. 1, 2, and 3. All right, back down. 1, 2, and 3. All right, we're going to expose you a little. We're going to pull the brief up. And on the other side here. Secure it, okay? I'm going to pull your gown down. Okay, I'm going to start pulling your back blanket up, or your regular blanket up. All right, I'm going to fold that in. Side roll back up over here. Get rid of this. Remove your incontinence pad. Count of 3. We're going to turn it in. 1, 2, 3. Keep it uncovered. Roll it into itself. Come on back down. 1, 2, and 3. One more time, Mr. Jones, I promise. I'm going to roll again on your right. 1, 2, and 3. And back down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and dispose of that. Alright, Mr. Jones, we are all done. I'm going to put your bed down. Okay, I'm going to put your side rails down. Up a little bit. Alright, Mr. Jones, we're all done with that. I'm going to give you a call light. Press that button if you need me. I'll be in the bathroom emptying your basin. Going to empty your basin. Going to rinse. Empty, flush, and dry. Alright, Mr. Jones, we're all done. I'm going to remove my gloves. Throw that away. Here's your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything. Undivided privacy, and I'm going to go wash my hands. I will not recontaminate my hands. And behind my back, turn off my faucet, and done. Until dry. Knock on Mr. Jones's door.
Amen.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My my name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'm going to get you dressed for breakfast.
All right.
Okay? First, I'm going to by practicing. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. So, Mr. Jones, what would you like to wear today?
Shirt, pants, socks is fine.
Okay. Awesome. This one's okay?
Yep.
And
Yes.
let's grab your slippers.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to put your side rails up. And I'm going to raise your bed. Have your bed raised to mid-thigh level. And I understand that your left side is weak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I'm going to take your call light. I'm going to move your down first, and I'm going to undress the unaffected side first.
Okay.
I'm going to push this over. Push that over to the gown to the other side. Right. And I'm going to take your affected side. I'm going to roll that into itself. Roll up. I'm going to dispose of his gown. And grab his shirt. And I'm going to dress the affected side first. I'm going to put my hand through the sleeve and grab his extremity. Place it over his head. All right, then Mr. Jones, we're going to assist you to kind of lift up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right down. Okay. Side roll up. Other side. All right, and then Mr. Jones, I'm going to have you turn to your left a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Put your shirt down a little bit. Back. All right, on your back for me. All right. I'm going to expose your arm a little. All right. I'm going to put my hand through the sleeve. And pull your shirt down. Now we're going to put your pants on.
Okay.
And again, dressing the affected side first. I'm going to expose your leg. I'm going to put my arm and hand through the pants leg and grab this extremity. Okay. Same thing with the other leg. And we're going to pull have you lift your bottom up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, come back down. All right, and turn to your left for me a little bit. Pull your bottoms up. 1, 2, and 3. Bottoms up. Shirt down. All right, on your back, we're gonna do it one more time on the other side. Come back down. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna help you turn on this side, okay? Count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Bring up the bottoms. And pulling down the shirt. All right, coming back down. 1, 2, and 3. Whoop. Whoop. All right, now I'm gonna put your socks on.
Okay.
Expose your feet. Now we're going to put your slippers on.
All right.
So one slipper. Okay. Hurry it back up. And just to show you, you should be completely dressed underneath. Neat. Alrighty, Mr. Jones, we're all dressed. I'm going to put your bed down. Put your side rails down. Alright, Mr. Jones, we are all done. Here is your call light.
Thank you.
Call if you need me for anything and I'll come in.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to unprovide pipe and sanitize my hands until dry. Okay. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And voila. Hello, Ms. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be draining your urinary drainage bag. But first, I'm going to provide privacy. I already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. All right, Ms. Jones, I'm going to grab your call light from you, and I'm going to raise the side rails. And I'm going to raise your bed. All right, bed is raised at thigh level. I'm going to check your Foley for kinks and free flow. Make sure all urine is drained out of the tube. my graduate. Open up my alcohol pad. Okay. Then I'm going to open up my drain, making sure not to touch the inside of the graduate. Okay, emptying the bag completely, closing the drain immediately. Then I will take my alcohol pad and wipe the drain. Okay. Then I will replace the drain into the holder without recontaminating it. Gather everything. I'm going to dispose of my barrier. All right, Ms. Jones, I'm going to put your bed down. Okay, I'm going to put your side rails down. Alrighty, Ms. Jones, here's your call light. I'll be in the bathroom emptying your graduated cylinder. Dispose of my towel. Okay, I'm going to measure my output, and we are at 150 cc's. I'm going to empty my graduate. Rinse. Flush. And dry. Supplies. I'm going to remove my gloves. All right, Ms. Jones, we're all done. Here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything. I'm going to unprovide privacy and go wash my hands. Wetting all surfaces of my hands and wrists. Applying my soap and lathering for 20 seconds. I will not recontaminate my hands. Another clean paper towel. I'm going to put my one hand behind my back. Turn off the water and dispose. And the output was 150 mLs or cc's, and I documented where it says urinary output. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to enter Mr. Jones's room.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be providing you with hair care.
Okay.
Okay, first I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to go gather my supplies.
All right.
How's your day going so far, Mr. Jones?
Pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How would you like your hair today?
Just brush down.
Okay. I'm going to place this towel over your shoulders, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to brush your hair. like your hair?
That's good.
All right, good. Going to remove your towel. Holding it away from myself. Dispose. Going to return my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to unwind privacy, and I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'm going to be changing your bed with you in it.
Okay.
Okay, first I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands. I'm going to gather my supplies. I will need a fitted sheet, flat sheet, pillowcase, and a blanket. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to grab your call light from you. And I'm going to raise your side rails. And I'm going to raise your bed to mid-thigh level. Okay, now your bed is raised. Bring everything close to me. Okay, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, I'm going to have you turn on your side, okay?
Okay.
All right. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fitted sheet. Put on a sheet. Mr. Jones, you come on your back for me. On back. 1, 2, and 3. On this side. And turn the other way for me. Count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Remove the old fitted sheet. Dispose of that. And bring the other fitted sheet. Keep it in cover. Making sure my mattress is completely covered as well. All right, back on your back for me, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. All right. Place a flat sheet over you. And remembering not to clean my linen. Place your blanket on top as well. I'm going to remove your old blankets. Push those over to the side. Dispose of that. All right, I'm going to tuck the blankets at the foot of the bed. To make my hospital corners. I'm going to pull up from the middle here, make my little triangle here, and I'm going to tuck it, and we're going to drop it. And we have our miter corners, or hospital corners, or military corners. We're going to do the same on the other side. Just going to grab my blanket and my sheet. I'm going to pull it up. Make a little triangle right here, and we're going to tuck it and drop it for our hospital corner. Okay, we're also going to release a little bit at the toes, give them some wiggle room, and I'm going to change the pillowcase now. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to change your pillowcase now. Lift your head up for me a little, and down. I'm going to remove the old pillowcase. I'm going to replace the new pillowcase, making sure the tag goes in first. All right, Mr. Jones, you can lift your head up for me. And down. All righty, Mr. Jones. I'm going to put your bed down. I'm going to put your side rails down. Your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to unprovide cleansing and sanitize my hands until dry. Alright, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be providing you with nail care.
All right.
Okay, first, I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. Jones, here's your call light. I'll be in the bathroom filling your nail basin up with warm water
Okay.
and wetting your washcloth, okay?
All right.
Be right back. Call if you need me.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jones. Okay. I'm going to take one of your hands. I'm going to soak it in the warm water for 5 minutes. Okay. Then we're going to remove your hand, and I'm going to push your cuticles back with the wet washcloth. That down. I'm going to dispose of this. Now I'm going to dry your hands, making sure to dry in between the fingers as well. Okay. Now I'm going to clean underneath the nail with the flat part of the orange stick. Clean. With each swipe, I'm going to wipe off dirt from underneath the nails. Okay, now I'm going to file your nails down in a round shape. All right, Mr. Jones, we are all done. I'm going to put my orange stick in the sharps container. All right, Mr. Jones, I'll be in the bathroom emptying your nail basin. Here's your call light. Call me if you need me for anything. I'm also going to dispose of my linens. Rinse my equipment and dry. Okay. Turn my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, we're all done.
Okay.
I'm going to unprovide privacy. Give you a call light again.
Thank you.
Okay? And call if you need me for anything.
Okay.
All right? And I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. All right, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to knock. Hi, Ms. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be providing you with peri-care. First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. All right, Ms. Jones, here is your call light. I will be in the bathroom filling your basin up with warm water. Call if you need me. Okay, and we'll have the tester test the water. right, Miss Jones, I'm back. Going to grab your car light. Get that out of the way. Going to put your side rail up. And your other side rail. And I'm going to raise your bed to mid-thigh level. Alrighty, Miss Jones. It's over. I'm going to grab my linen basket also, my soiled linen basket. Alright, I'm going to put this side rail down. And we're going to put on your incontinence pad first, okay? So on the count of 3, you're going to turn on, I'm going to help you turn on your left side, okay? Count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Keeping her covered. Placing the pad. All right, come on back down. 1, 2, 3. On the other side. Now we're going to turn to your right side, Ms. Jones, okay? Count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Keeping her covered. All right, and back down, Ms. Jones. 1, 2, and 3. Put your side leg up. All right, now we're going to place your back blanket on. Careful not to fling my linen. All right, I'm going to pull your blankets down now to at least mid-thigh level. Keep it covered. And I'm going to pull up your gown. Going to wet my first washcloth. And I'm going to apply my soap and lather. And I have my 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to pull out a clean portion of the washcloth, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to wash down the right side. Pull it back, pull out a clean portion of the washcloth, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to clean down the left side, pull the dirty back, pull the clean portion out, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to wash down the middle. And then with my last clean corner, I'm going to expose, separating the labia, and wipe down the middle again. And we're going to dispose of that one. Now we're going to rinse the same exact way with our 4 corners. Pull out a clean portion, expose, separating the labia. It's going to rinse down the right side, pull back, clean portion, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to rinse down the left side, cover. Next clean corner, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to rinse down the middle. And then with my last corner, expose, separating the labia. I'm going to rinse down the middle again and dispose. Now I'm going to dry the same way. Clean corner, expose, separating the labia. We're going to pat dry down the right side. Next corner, expose, separating the labia. Going to pat dry down the left side. Next corner, expose, separating the labia, pat dry down the middle. Then my last corner, going to expose, separate the labia, pat dry down the middle again and dispose. All right, now we're going to turn to your left side, Miss Jones, so we can clean your bottom, okay? All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to turn. Okay, the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, keep her covered. All right, I'm going to wet my first washcloth. I'm going to apply my soap. I'm going to lather away from the basin. All right, then I'm going to again get my first corner. I'm going to expose. All right, then we're going to clean from, we're going to wash from vagina to rectum or front to back. We're going to get our second corner, expose, front to back a second time, cover. My third corner, expose. I'm going to clean one cheek or one glute. Then with my last corner, we're going to wash the last glute. Okay, then we're going to dispose of that. Now we're going to rinse the same way. Going to get a clean corner, expose. We're going to rinse from front to back or vagina to rectum. Next corner, going to rinse again, front to back. Third corner, we're going to rinse the right glute or cheek. And then the last corner, we're going to rinse the left glute or cheek and dispose. All right, now we're going to dry. I have my 4 corners, and I just rotate when I dry. And don't forget to pat dry. So we're going to expose, going to pat dry, front to back, rotate. Going to pat dry again, front to back, rotate, pat dry the right cheek, then rotate in my last corner. Going to pat dry the left cheek and dispose. Since we already have Miss Jones on her side, Miss Jones, I'm going to remove your incontinence pad. So I'm going to roll that inward, away from me. And then Miss Jones, on the count of 3, you can come back on your back, all right? 1, 2, 3. You're covered. Side down, and I'm going to turn you to your right side to remove your incontinence pad. Count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. Again, keeping it covered. Dispose, and come on back down. 1, 2, and 3. All right, Miss Jones, I'm going to pull your gown down. Okay, and I'm going to start pulling up your blankets. Keeping you covered. Okay, I'm going to fold this into itself away from me and dispose. Okay, Ms. Jones, I'm going to put up your side rails and I'm going to put your bed down. Okay, put your side rails down. All right, Miss Jones, you're all done. Here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything. I'll be in the bathroom emptying and rinsing your basin. I'll be back. Call if you need me. I am going to empty, rinse, flush, and dry. All right, Miss Jones. All done. Again, here is your call light. Press that button if you need anything, and I'll come in. I'll provide privacy and go wash my hands. I'm gonna wet my hands thoroughly and my wrists. Like so, and lather for 20 seconds. I will not recontaminate my hands. Dry. Grab another paper towel, put my hand behind my back so I don't recontaminate. Turn off the water and dispose. And done. Okay, first I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry, covering all surfaces. Then I'm going to put on my gown. Cover my entire body, tie around the waist. I'm going to put my face shield on, and then my gloves, making sure to tuck my sleeve into my gloves.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be giving you a partial bed bath.
All right.
Okay? First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. I'll be in the bathroom filling your basin up with warm water, okay?
Okay.
Call if you need anything.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to fill my basin to at least the tube. I'll have the tester test the water. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm back.
Okay.
I'll take your call light. I'm gonna put your side rails up. Bring my bin closer. And I'm gonna raise your bed, okay? All right, Mr. Jones. Gonna get started. I'm gonna put this bath towel over you first, okay?
All right.
You can remove your gown. fold your blankets to your waist. Okay, and we're going to remove your gown.
Sure.
Exposing what the area I'm working on. I'm going to push the gown over to the other side. Keeping them covered at all times. Expose the area I'm working on. And remove the gown. Folding it into itself. Okay, dispose of my gown. All right, Mr. Jones. Gonna put this towel underneath your arm.
Okay.
Open it up completely. Cover, and we'll get started. So first I'm going to wash your face without any soap,
Okay.
and I'll be using my 4 corners. Okay, pull out a clean corner. First I'm going to start with your eyes. Inner to outer. Pull out a new corner. Inner to outer. Then I'm going to go from forehead to chin on one side of the face. And then forehead to chin on the other side. I'm going to put that back in my water since there's no soap on it. And now we're going to dry the exact same way. I'm going to pat dry. Inner to outer, the eyes. Then forehead to chin on one side. In my last corner, forehead to chin on the other side. I'm going to dispose of that washcloth. Now I'm going to expose your arm. Again, using my 4 corners. Going to apply the soap away from the basin, lather, using my 4 corners, exposing the arm, and I'm going to start from the shoulder to the wrist, cover, the next corner, expose the arm, the bottom of the arm to the wrist, then I'm going to do the top of the hand, bottom of the hand, and in between the fingers. And lastly, the armpit. Cleaning the armpit. Okay, I'm going to dispose of that washcloth. Now I'm going to rinse. Expose, rinse the same way, shoulder to wrist, cover, pull back my corner, expose, I'm going to rinse the bottom of the arm, expose, then we're going to rinse the top of the hand, bottom of the hand, and in between the fingers, cover, then my last corner, I'm going to rinse the underarm and cover. Dispose of that. Now I'm going to dry your arm.
Okay.
I'm going to pat dry. Pat dry the hands. The hand and in between the fingers. And I'm going to pat dry the armpit. And dispose of that. All right, Mr. Jones, now we're going to put on your gown.
Okay.
arm. Putting my hand through the sleeve. Push this over to the other side. Keeping them covered. Go to the other side. And put the gown on. Cover you up, straighten you up underneath here. And I'll start pulling up your blanket.
Okay.
Once we fold this, add blanket into itself. Disposing of this. All right, Mr. Jones, we're all done getting you washed up.
Okay.
Want to put your bed down, and we're going to put your side rails down. Okay, Mr. Jones, here is your card. I'll be in the bathroom rinsing your basin. Call if you need anything, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to put this back. Alrighty. Going to empty. Rinse. Flush and dry. Okay, Mr. Jones, we're all done. Here's your call light. Again, press that button if you need me for anything, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you are welcome. I am going to untie tightly and remove my PPE. First, I will remove my gloves. Dispose. Then I will remove my face shield. And then my gown. Making sure not to touch the outside. Roll it into itself. Dispose. And sanitize my hands until dry. Sanitize my hands until dry, covering all surfaces. Then I'm going to put on my gown. Covering my entire body. Put on my face shield and then my gloves, making sure to tuck my sleeve into my gloves. Okay, now we're ready to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Mr. Jones, my name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be cleaning your dentures for you.
Okay.
Okay? So first, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. Okay, Mr. Jones, here's your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything, and I'll come in, okay?
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm gonna place my barrier down in the sink, turning on cool water. I'm gonna rinse my denture cap, grab my denture, and rinsing my denture cup. I'm gonna wet my toothbrush, apply my toothpaste. And I'm going to brush the inner, outer, and chewing surfaces of the denture. Also this hard palate and at the top here. I'm going to rinse my dentures in cool water. I'm going to rinse my toothbrush. And I'm going to fill my denture cup in cool water. Replace the dentures. I'm going to dry off all of my equipment. Going to remove my barrier. Okay. My supplies, dispose of my barrier. Okay, Mr. Jones, I'm all done cleaning your dentures.
Okay.
Okay? Here's your call light again. If you need me for anything, give me a buzz.
All right.
All right? Going to provide privacy and remove my PPE. Removing my gloves first. Disposing. Removing my face shield. And then my gown. Rolling it into itself. Disposing and sanitizing my hands until dry. Okay, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to put on my gown. Gonna wrap my gown around my entire body and tie it. All right, I'm gonna put my face shield on and put on my gloves, making sure to tuck my sleeve into my glove. Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be assisting you with feeding.
Okay.
Okay, first I'm going to provide time and gather my supplies. Would you like to wear a clothing protector?
Sure.
right, Mr. Jones, here's your call aid. I'll be in the bathroom running your washcloth. You call if you need anything, okay? I'll be right back. All right, Mr. Jones. I am going to put your side rails up. Grab this call light from you. And I'm going to raise your bed. I am going to raise the head of your bed up to at least 45 degrees.
Okay.
But we're going to raise you up to 90.
Okay.
Right. Wash your hands first. And in between the fingers. Dispose of this. And I'm going to dry your hands. In between the fingers, right? All right. So I have here, you're Mr. Jones
Yes.
in room 102, and you're on a regular diet.
Yes.
Okay, this is the correct tray. Going to put on your clothing protector.
Okay.
Mr. Jones. All right, so today we have peaches, water, and ginger ale.
Okay.
Okay? What would you like to start with first?
The water is fine.
Water? Okay. All right. Here's your water. And what would you like to start with next?
The food is okay.
Peaches?
Mm-hmm.
Or your pears, excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
More peaches?
Yes.
Pears? Okay, like some ginger ale?
Sure.
Would you like some more peaches?
I'm okay.
Good. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, we're all done.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to remove your clothing protector. I'm going to put the head of your bed down no less than 30 degrees.
Okay.
And I'm going to put your bed down.
All right.
All right, Mr. Jones. Here is your call light.
Thank you.
Call if you need anything, and we'll come in, okay?
Okay.
Going to unprovide the and remove my PPE. Moving my gloves first. My face shield. And my gown. And I will sanitize my hands until dry. So, in the 120 cc glass, he drank about half of that. So that would be 60 cc's or mLs. And in the 240 ml glass, he drank about half of that as well. Half of the 240 is 120. So total, he drank 180 mLs or cc's. As far as his food intake, his pears, looks like he ate about 50%. All right, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to put on my PPE. I'm going to put on my gown first. I'm going to cover my entire body. I'm going to put on my face shield. Put my gloves on, making sure to tuck my sleeves in my glove. All right, now we'll get started.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be performing mouth care for you.
All right.
All right. First, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to place this towel across your chest.
Okay.
Here's your call light. So what temperature would you like your rinse water?
Water.
Okay. I will be right back, okay? Mr. Jones. All right, Mr. Jones, we're going to start brushing your teeth.
Okay.
All right, you can smile for me. I'm going to brush the inner, outer, and chewing surfaces of the teeth. Okay, can you open up for me? Okay, you and open or stick out your tongue. Did I get all of your teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's your rinse water. Okay, did you need some more rinse water?
Nope.
Okay, want to wipe your mouth. Folds of my towel. Okay, Mr. Jones, you have your call light out in the bathroom, emptying and rinsing all of your equipment. Dispose of my cup. And I'm going to rinse all of my equipment. And dry. All right, Mr. Jones, we're all done brushing your teeth. Anything else you need?
That's it.
All right. So here's your call light. Call if you need me for anything. Okay. Got ultraviolet privacy. And remove my PPE. Going to remove my gloves. Face shield. And my gown. I will sanitize my hands until dry. Alrighty. I am going to sanitize my hands until dry.
Good.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today,
Okay.
and I will be repositioning you.
All right.
Okay, first I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized and gather my supplies. Got my 3 pillows. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to grab your call light from you.
Okay.
I'm going to put your side rails up. And I'm going to raise your bed. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to put the head of your bed down. I'm going to allow you in a supine position.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to pull you over closer to my side of the bed. All right, so that way when we turn you, you'll be in the center.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to put my hands behind your shoulders and lower back. On the count of 3, you can come up towards me. 1, 2, 3. Lift your head up and get your pillow. Down. All right. I'm going to put my hands behind your lower back and your knees. On the count of 3, you can move towards me, okay? 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do your lower extremities. So behind your knee and your ankles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, you can lift your head up for me. And place your pillow over here. Down. All right. Sorry about that, Mr. Jones.
You're fine.
Then on the count of 3, we're going to turn to your left side, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're going to put this arm up. All right, and then we're going to turn. Count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'm going to place first pillow behind his back. First, I'm going to check to make sure the pillow is not obstructing his face. Put this pillow behind him. Lower back. Next pillow will go underneath the top arm. Right. And then the last pillow will go in between his knees and ankles. Take this pillow, put it back under his head, and up on his nose, down. Side roll back up. Gonna bring this arm back down. Are you comfortable, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
I am going to check for body alignment. He looks good. I'm going to put his bed down. Side rails down. All right, Mr. Jones. Here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything.
Okay.
Okay? Turn my table. Upright, and sanitize my hands until dry. Okay, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And I'm going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be doing range of motion of your hip and knee.
Okay.
First, I'm going to provide privacy. There are no supplies. I'm going to lower the head of your bed in a supine position. I'm going to raise your side rails. And I'm going to raise your bed to mid-thigh level. Right. I am checking for body alignment, and it looks good. All right, Mr. Jones, are you having any pain right now?
No.
Okay. So now I'm going to support your joints, so behind the knee and supporting behind the ankle. And we're going to start with flexion and extension of your knee.
Okay.
Okay? Ready?
Yes.
Flexion, extension. Are you having any pain?
No.
All right. Flexion, extension, flexion, and extension. All right, Mr. Jones, now we're going to do abduction and adduction of your hip.
Okay.
Okay? Supporting again behind the joints, which would be the knee and the ankle. And we're going to start, okay?
Okay.
Abduction, adduction. Are you having any pain?
No.
All right. Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. Okay, Mr. Jones, we are all done with your range of motion exercises.
Okay.
I'm going to put your bed down. And I'm going to put your side rails down. All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. Press that button if you need anything.
Okay.
And I'll come in. I'm going to unprovide pipe and sanitize my hands until dry. to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be performing range of motion of your shoulder.
Okay.
First, I'm going to provide privacy. There are no supplies. I'm going to put the head of your bed down in a supine position. I'm going to grab this call light from you, Mr. Jones,
Okay.
and put your side rails up. I'm going to raise your bed to mid-thigh level.
Okay.
All right. And now I am checking for body alignment, and you are aligned. All right, Mr. Jones, are you having any pain right now?
No.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to support your joints. So behind the elbow and the wrist, and we're going to start with flexion and extension of your shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Flexion, extension. Are you having any pain?
No.
Okay. Flexion, extension, flexion, and extension. All right, now we're going to do abduction and adduction of your shoulder.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Mhm.
Abduction, adduction. Are you having any pain?
No.
Okay. Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. All right, Mr. Jones, we are all done with your range of motion of your shoulder.
All right.
I'm going to put your bed down. All right, I'm going to put your side rails down. All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything, okay?
Okay.
Going to unprovide and sanitize my hands until dry. First, I will sanitize my hands until dry, covering all surfaces.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be ambulating you to your wheelchair using a gait belt.
Okay.
All right. First, I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands and gather my supplies. I'm going to lock my wheelchair, and I'm going to lock my bed. And I'm going to lower the bed. All right, Mr. Jones. I'm going to grab your call light from you.
Okay.
I'm going to raise the head of your bed up a little. All right, I'm going to remove your blankets. All right, and then on the count of three, we're going to sit up on the side of the bed.
All right.
All right, I'm going to put my hands behind your shoulder blades, behind the back of your knees, and on the count of three, we're going to turn.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Making sure his feet are flat on the floor. Okay, then I'm going to grab my gait belt. Put my gait belt on. Arms up for me, Mr. Jones. Checking for gait belt tightness. I'm going to put on this non-skid footwear. Bring the wheelchair closer. And I'm going to angle it, making sure part of it is touching the bed. And I'm going to lock my wheelchair. Then I'm going to put my outside knee between Mr. Jones's knees. So I'm going to put my knee in between your knees, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
And then on the count of 3, we're going to stand and pivot into your wheelchair.
All right.
All right, grab onto my shoulders. I'm going to grab the back of the gait belt. Then on the count of 3, we're going to stand and pivot.
All right.
1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going to unlock the wheelchair. And remove my gait belt. Go ahead and lean forward for me, Mr. Jones. To return my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, turn you around. Okay, Mr. Jones, here is your call light.
Thank you.
Press that call button if you need me for anything,
Okay.
and I will come in, okay?
All right.
Want to provide privacy. And sanitize my hands until dry. Okay, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry, covering all surfaces. And I'm going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I will be pivoting you back into your bed.
Okay.
Okay? First, I'm going to provide privacy. I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. He already has on his non-skid footwear. I'm going to move the call light, pull the covers back. And I'm going to lock my bed. Lock. 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 Now I'm going to lower my bed. All right, Mr. Jones, we're going to bring you over to your bed.
Okay.
And we're going to angle the wheelchair. And it is touching the bed. And I'm going to lock your wheelchair. All right, I'm going to put on your gait belt. You can lean forward for me, arms up or out. Thank you. Okay, checking for gait belt tightness. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to put my outside knee in between your knees.
Okay.
And then on the count of 3, we're going to stand up and pivot into your bed.
All right.
All right, you can put your hands on my shoulders. I'm going to grab the back of the gait belt. On the count of 3, we're going to stand and pivot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, making sure the feet are flat on the floor. I'm going to get this out of the way. All right, Mr. Jones, I'm going to remove your gait belt.
Okay.
I'm going to remove your slippers. Return my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, we're going to lay down, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to put my hands behind your shoulder blades and behind your knees. On the count of 3, we're going to lay down. 1, 2, 3. Checking for body alignment. Are you comfortable, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Okay. Cover you back up. going to lower his bed to finish lowering his bed to the lowest position. All right, Mr. Jones. Here is your call light. Press that button if you need anything, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to provide privacy and sanitize my hands until dry. Okay, I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. I'm going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today, and I'll be getting your vital signs.
All right.
All right, your pulse and your respirations.
Okay.
Okay, first, I'm going to provide privacy and gather my supplies. First, we're going to get your pulse.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to use my two fingers, my index finger and middle finger, to count your pulse. And we're going to go on the thumb side of the resident to find your pulse. Okay, once we find the pulse, we're going to count for 60 seconds. And watching the clock, the second hand, we're going to start now. And stop. Okay. All right, so the pulse was 67. Okay, Mr. Jones, now I'm going to count your respirations.
Okay.
I'm going to watch your chest rise and fall as you breathe.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to do that for 60 seconds.
Okay.
All right. And start. Stop. And for his respirations, we got 12 breaths per minute. All right, Mr. Jones, we are all done. Okay. Here is your call light. Call me if you need me for anything. All right. Unprovide privacy. And sanitize my hands until dry. Alright, first I'm going to sanitize my hands until dry. And we're going to knock.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Jones. My name is Dee. I'll be your nursing assistant today.
Okay.
I will be getting your weight today.
All right.
Okay? First, I'm going to provide privacy I've already sanitized my hands, and I'm going to gather my supplies. I'm going to zero out the scale before we get started. Okay. All right, Mr. Jones. I'm going to lock your wheelchair. Gonna put your gait belt on. You can lift your arms up for me. Lean forward. Checking for gait belt tightness. All right, Mr. Jones, on the count of 3, we're gonna stand and walk over to the scale.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put my knee between your knees, hands on my shoulders. On the count of 3, we're gonna stand. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. All right. You grab your forearm, let's walk over to the scale. Go ahead and step up for me. All right, hands at your side, making sure he's not holding on to anything. All right, then we're gonna get the weight. I'm gonna start with the large indicator. Okay, and then we're gonna move the small indicator. Okay, and this should be balanced. Okay, and I have his weight at 164 pounds. Okay, and I will document that. All right, Mr. Jones, go ahead and step down for me, step back. And we're going to walk over to your wheelchair. Go ahead and turn for me. Okay, feel the wheelchair in the back of your legs.
Yes.
Go ahead and have a seat. All right, I'm going to unlock your wheelchair. Going to remove your gait belt. Forward for me. Turn my supplies. All right, Mr. Jones, here is your call light. Press that button if you need me for anything.
Okay.
Okay. Provide privacy. And sanitize my hands until dry. Thank you for watching our skills videos. Good luck to you on your state test.
Got it bumping.
Yeah. Here's to brighter days. Here's to brighter days. Yeah. 2020. This is Lyrical Jeans.